What is cellular respiration?
Cellular respiration is a complex process in which cells make ATP by breaking down organic compounds.
Cellular respiration begins with a biochemical pathway called glycolysis, which yields a relatively small amount of ATP. The other products of glycolysis can follow one of two main pathways depending on whether oxygen is in the cell or not. If no oxygen, then fermentation occurs. If there is oxygen, glycolysis will follow the aerobic respiration pathway.
Glycolysis takes place in the cytosol of the cells and involves four main steps.
Step 1. Two phosphate groups are attached to glucose, forming a new 6-carbon compound. The phosphate groups are supplied by 2 molecules of ATP, which are converted into 2 molecules of ADP in the process.
Step 2. The 6-carbon compound is split into two 3-carbon molecules of PGAL.
Step 3. The two PGAL molecules are oxidized to produce two new 3-carbon compounds.
Step 4. The new 3-carbon compounds are converted into 2 molecules of pruvic acid.
Note, 2 ATP molecules are used in step 1, but 4 more are produced in step 4. Glycolysis results in a net production of 2 ATP molecules.
Some cells engage in lactic acid fermentation when oxygen is absent. In this process, pruvic acid is reduced to lactic acid and NADH is oxidized to NAD+.
Other cells engage in alcoholic fermentation, converting pruvic acid into ethyl alcohol. Again, NADH is oxidized to NAD+.
The amount of energy available in glucose with the amount of energy contained in the ATP that is produced by the anaerobic pathways. 1 kilocalorie equals 1,000 calories. Scientists have calculated that the complete oxidation of a standard amount of glucose releases 686 kilocalories.
The production of a standard amount of ATP from ADP absorbs 12 kilocalories. Therefore, the efficiency of glycolysis equals the energy required to make ATP divided by the energy released by oxidation of glucose, which would equal 12 kilocalories multiplied by 2, divided by 686 kilocalories, which would come out to 3.5% efficiency.
To begin the bicameral pathways that make up an aerobic respiration, pyruvic acid combines with coenzyme A to form acetyl coenzyme A. This reaction occurs in the mitochondria matrix.
The Krebs cycle takes place in the mitochondrial matrix and involves 5 main steps.
Step 1. A carbon molecule of cyclic coenzyme A combines with a 4-carbon compound oxaloacetic acid to produce a 6-carbon compound citric acid.
Citric acid releases a CO2 molecule and a hydrogen atom to form a 5-carbon compound. By losing a hydrogen atom with its electron, citric acid is oxidized. The hydrogen atom is transferred to NAD+, reducing it to NAD.
Step 3. The 5-carbon compound releases a carbon dioxide molecule to form a 4-carbon compound.
Step 4. The 4-carbon compound is converted into a new 4-carbon compound.
Step 5. The new 4-carbon compound is converted back into oxaloacetic acid. In addition to carbon dioxide, each turn of the Krebs cycle produces ATP, NADH, and FADH2.
The following equation is the equation in which oxygen forms water, chemiosmosis synthesizes the ATP, and oxygen accepts the protons that were once part of the hydrogen atom supplied by the NADH and FADH squared.
The efficiency of aerobic respiration can be calculated by dividing the energy required to make ATP by the energy released by oxidation of glucose. This would come out to equal 66% efficiency, almost 20 times more efficient than glycolysis.
The electron transport chain constitutes the second stage of aerobic respiration. In eukaryotes, the electron transport chain lines the inner membrane of the mitochondria. Follow each pathway to see how one glucose molecule can generate up to 38 ATP molecules in aerobic respiration.
In prokaryotes, it lines the cell membrane. The electron transport chain produces ATP when NADH and FADH2 release hydrogen atoms, regenerating NAD+ and FAD.
Cellular respiration happens in all living organisms. It is basically the process of oxidizing food molecules like glucose to carbon dioxide in water. The energy released is trapped in the form of ATP for use by all the energy-consuming activities of the cell. Cellular respiration is shown throughout the following photos.